everyone, this is Teacher Berlin and today I'll be teaching you about intervals. So what are intervals? Intervals are distance between two notes. For example, this to this. So in grade 1, we'll all recall that from this note to this note, first, second, third is a distance of a third. But from grade 3 onwards, we will be learning the type of intervals. What are the type of intervals? If the distance between the two notes are a second, a third, a sixth, a seventh, we have this type of intervals: major, minor, diminished, and augmented. If we have a fourth, a fifth, and an eighth, these are the type of intervals. So it depends on the distance. So what are these types of intervals? How do we determine them? For example, this one. So when you are doing intervals, you always treat the bottom note as the major key. Treat it as, so depending on the note, C. So treat it as C major. Then you write out what does C major have. Okay, and this note is an E. Okay, so is E inside the scale of C major? Yes. Is E affected by having any flats or sharp? No. So in this case, since E is in the key of C major, this would be then called the original distance that I've always been telling my students. So original distance means what? Original distance means major key. So since it's a third, we will then call this a major third interval. But let's say it's a fourth or fifth, then it will not be called major anymore. It will be called perfect. So this is also the original interval. So what do I mean by original and then minor, augmented? Okay, so for example, if it's a C major again and an E, let's say the E has become a flat. So we do know that C to E is the original distance. But let's say now the E has become a flat. We have to think of the piano. So from C to E is like that, so big. But from C to E flat, it will become like that. So therefore, it becomes a smaller distance. And that's why from smaller distance, original smaller distance will become a minor. So in this case, it will be called a minor third. Let's say from C to E sharp. Now the E has gotten bigger distance from the C. C to E, C to E sharp. Now C to E is the original, but now I have C to E sharp. It's a bigger distance. So when it has become a bigger distance, it will then be augmented third. So this is how it's supposed to be. But for intervals of fifth or fourth, it's quite simple to understand. As you recall, C to G is the original distance. But let's say it becomes a C to G flat. It has become a smaller distance. So since I'm talking about a fifth, original distance a perfect C to G. But if it's a C to a G flat, smaller distance, it become diminished. So automatically, C to G flat will become a diminished fifth interval. Let's go ahead and talk about something more complicated, but it's actually quite easy actually. In grade 5, we have intervals that is more than an octave. For example, this. So as you know, C to C is an octave. We have two names for this. Compound. When you write down compound, it straight away tells you the interval is more than one octave. So 8. So this is an octave. This is the first again. First, second, third. Same. C to E is a third. So straight away we put it third. And since C to E, you know that it's a major. So straight away, compound major third. But there's another name for it. For example, you want the big numbers. From here to here is an 8. C to E, 8, 9, 10. So you have the big number. What is it? Major 10. So you can either have compound major third or a major 10, depending. So this concludes the topic on intervals. I hope you have learned something today. Bye!